Okay, the first big announcement is that I moved your test to Friday. After seeing what we got through yesterday, I just figured I'd feel better, and I think you guys will do better if we have one more day of a review. So for sure, in stone, your Chapter 1 test is on Friday. We will start that about 7:30 in the morning. Remember, the first part of it is no calculator. The rest of it is calculator. Okay, the no calculator part will be adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing integers. Okay, point-wise, it's probably around 45 or 50 points. I don't have the exact total yet because I'm in the process of fixing and changing it a little bit. Mary? I second that, Mary. I think because of the rain. Rain always makes everyone feel blah. That's why you didn't say good morning this morning, right? What'd you say? Okay, I like that. You don't like blah. Okay, so that was the biggest announcement. Let's first take a look at your homework. So you all had a chance to check your homework. Any questions on the first two columns of your homework? So which is the top part of it? Now, I know at the bottom if it said, the label said to tear along the dotted line, you're good to go. So before we explain and talk about why it says that, any questions on the math problems for this column or this column? Jeremy, you need to finish checking it. Where are you on here? Are you on this one? Did you read any? Did you check any of these yet? Okay, here. Okay, anyone have questions on this? If you didn't get to check them all, you can go back to the recording. Okay. Okay, what about these two columns? So at the bottom, if it said the label said to tear along the dotted line, that's an easy way to check your puzzle. Did you do the puzzle? Okay. All right, so no questions? Annalise, I'll give you my answer key if you want. And Alyssa, you too. Are you sure? Okay. Alyssa, if you need my answer key, I'll give it to you in a second. Since you guys came, just because your buses came in late. Or cars. All right, we're good on the homework. Okay, wow. Raise your hand if you got all the homework questions right. Wow, great job. All right, raise your hand if you missed one. Okay, raise your hand if you missed two. Okay, and if you missed something, do you know what your mistake is? All right, cool. Well, that was like the easiest homework assignment ever, huh? Wow. All right, we're all going to get an A on the test on Friday. I feel it. Okay, let's go over the warm-up. Let's see how these are. Okay, number one, what is the answer to the OOO problem, Justin? Good. Number one is 3. Mary, number 2. Great job. 2. Number 4 is the opposite. Charles, what did you get for number 3. What did you get for number 3? Good. Number 4, Emma M. Good job. That's a tricky one. Number 5, Adam. Good job. Mary, you okay? I don't know. Not quite sure. I made this. I think I just wanted it to be formatted nicely and everything to have the same amount of space. I think that's probably my only reasoning for that. Not necessary. Sean. Okay. Okay, I'll come back to that in a minute. Sean, since you're answering or talking here, what did you get for number 6? Good, -2. Briar, number 7. Okay. Justin. Good. Emma H, number 8. Good. Number 9, what does absolute value mean? Give an example. Matt. Good. Good job. Absolute value of 36 is 36. In your own words and by definition, absolute value is the distance from 0. How far a number is from 0. Absolute value, the answer of it is always positive. Mary. You have them flipped? Okay. Okay, so number 6, you're putting a -2 in for x. So the absolute value of -2 is +2. So +2 minus 4, you get -2. Okay, and then on number 7, the negative absolute value of -2, bless you, minus 4. Drop down this negative sign. The absolute value of -2 is +2. Drop down the minus 4. -2 minus 4 is -6. Positive. Yep. And then number 8, you need to take care of what is inside the absolute value symbol first. So we have 10 minus 2 times the +2, because the absolute value of -2 is +2. So now, order of operations tells us to multiply first. So 10 minus 4, because -2 times +2 is -4. And then 10 minus 4 is 6. You okay? Okay. Sean, I'm going to go back to number 2 for you. You ready? Okay, number 2, we need to take care of what's in the numerator first, what's in the denominator second, and then divide. So let's start with the numerator. 2 plus 3 is 5. So add what's inside there first. And then we can simplify that again. 9 times 5 is 45. Rewrite your minus 19. Did you do that? You with me so far? Okay. When you subtract, we get 26 over, we don't know yet. Sure? Okay. Well, you don't need me to keep going? Okay. Does anyone need me to keep going on number 2? Anyone need me to keep going on number 2? Okay. What other questions on the warm-up do we have? Annalise? Yeah, I would maybe just draw an arrow, just like I keep doing. I would maybe draw the arrow so that you remember to bring that down. So that's the only thing I can tell you to try to help you with that. Okay, if you're not remembering it, draw that arrow so that you don't forget that that's still there. Okay? It is, but this is a grouping symbol, so you have to do what's inside the grouping symbol first. You're still following order of operations. The absolute value of -2 is +2, so that turns to a +2, but this negative still needs to drop down. So it's not negative because there's this grouping symbol around that too. Okay, so always take care of what is inside the grouping symbols first. Emma M? Yep. That's fine. Yep, whatever makes sense to you, and as long as it's correct, I'm okay with it. Any other questions on the warm-up? Jeremy? Do you need to see my answers? You okay, Jeremy? Yeah. Okay. Okay, anyone else? Again, those of you that came in late, please try that on your own so you can make sure you know what you're doing. Zach? Kind of like this? You can, but you won't do that anything like that for a while. 2 absolute value signs. 3. The way that I had that written, it's still 3. Yes. Annalise? Then you're fine. Then you're fine. Did you check your homework too? Then you're good. Mary? Okay. Yep. Kind of cool, huh? Yeah. Okay, anyone else? Annalise? That doesn't happen very often. They were just asking what would happen. That wouldn't happen very often, but you'll see that later on in math. Going back to the puzzle real quick, does everyone understand why it says, well, the question was, why did the ant run across the cracker box? It said, the label said to tear along the dotted line. Anyone want to explain that to us? Why does it say that? Charles, why does it say that? Yeah, you can rip it or you can run along it. It means the same thing. So these are supposed to be funny. Whoever makes these, sometimes they're not, and they just kind of end up being a little bit more corny than funny. So yeah, you'll see a lot of these, and you know, sometimes we'll laugh more than others. Doug? Right. Yeah. Yeah. Donatus? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yep. We weren't breaking up the words correctly. That happens, especially because they didn't put spaces in between them. Okay, I need everyone to take out your notebook or a blank piece of paper. I want to spend about 4 or 5 minutes on more practice problems of, remember that word, simplify, that some of you guys don't like. And then I'm going to move to the coordinate plane notes. We have a cool game to play either later today or tomorrow called Billy the Bug Coordinate Game. So either later today or tomorrow. So either for now, notebook or a piece of paper, just put at the top more practice. And today is September 18th if you'd like to date your pages. Donatus? Okay, I'll see later if you're right. Good job. I like to put puzzles in your homework packets sometimes. Okay, so yesterday I only spent about 6 or 7 minutes on these. Charles, did you watch the lesson from yesterday? What did you think of problems like this? Okay, you got it. Okay, I'm just wondering because you weren't here. So I thought maybe it'd be easier to explain if you guys were here in person because I was using my hands to show you things. Let's see how you do because I know some of you were a little iffy on these. Okay, number 1, the instructions are going to say simplify the expression. So who can tell us what did I have you break these down into? Mary? Good job. So negative 3x over negative 3 is the first fraction. Remember, I used my hand and I showed you guys take these, write it as a fraction. Second one, minus 9, which is the same thing as a negative, over negative 3. All right, Alyssa, what does the answer simplify to? Or did you have a question? Okay. Okay, do you want to try it? You had these yesterday. What's negative 3 divided by negative 3? Okay, what's negative 9 divided by negative 3? You got it. How else can we write our answer? How else can we write the answer, Briar? No, careful. Because this does not have an X. So they're different. It's kind of like saying you have a blue shirt on, Adam has a white sweatshirt on. Completely different. Just like terms here, a 3 and an X are completely different. Mary, how else can we write this? Yep, that's one way. How else can we write it? Annalise? Nope, because you can't combine those. Doug? Good job. That 1 in front of x does not matter. So you could write it as x plus 3 or, you okay? Okay. Or 3 plus x. The 1 can be there, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, try number 2 on your own. Mary? You can only cross simplify if we're multiplying. So I know we did that yesterday, but you can only cross simplify if it's something like this. This is a multiplication symbol. That's the only time you can cross simplify is if there's a multiplication symbol between. Adam, do you have an answer? Yeah. Okay, give me a second. Yeah. Okay, try number 2 on your own. Okay, you're close. Negative 6 over positive 4. But you're good. Great job. Okay, you just lost your x. Don't forget to keep the x there. Very good job, Charles. Maybe. Yeah. Yes, you may. Just simplify it or change it to a decimal. Mm-hmm. Great job. Oh, make sure you have a negative sign. Keep that in front of your 4. Good job. Try this part again. Yep. Good job. All right, M, what'd you get? Yep. Okay, should be minus, because -6 divided by +4 is minus. Mary, what are we filling for the last part? Good, -1.5. How else can we write our answer? Annalise, how else can we write our answer? Good, -4x minus 3/2. How else can we? Yep. How else can we write our answer? Briar? -4x minus 1.5. You can write your answer. You can write your answer any way. Yes, this ends up being a negative. -6 divided by 4. Remember, a subtraction sign and a negative symbol are the same thing. Annalise? You could have plus and negative. That's the same thing as minus. That's fine. That's the same thing as having a minus here. So you're good either way. Any other questions on number 2? Mary, you okay? Okay. All right. Number 3, 2x minus 8/8. Go ahead and do it, and then whenever you think you have an answer, I want you to put your hand up. 2x minus 8/8. I like all your pens. Whenever you think you have an answer, put your hand up. This one makes you think too. Just number 3 for now. Should have more than 4 hands by now. At least I would think. Matt, what did you get? Almost. Annalise? Almost. You forgot to divide something, and Matt, you divided something wrong. Emma H? Oh. No? Donatus? Great job. How else can we write our answer? And then I'll explain it. Mary? Great job. So here's how you get, raise your hand if you got a version of that. One of those answers, I should say. All right, Cole. Here's what you need to do. 2x over 8, which is 2/8. So Matt, you divided the wrong way. It's really 2/8, which is 1/4. Okay? The other way, which is -8 divided by 8, is -1. Either of these answers is acceptable. Adam? Oh. You had your hand up. You okay? Doug, do you have a question on that one? No. For number 4 or number 3? Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you can also, yes, you could also have x over 4 minus 1. That's fine. Annalise, question on 3? Plus a -1. Yep, you could also have 1/4 x plus a -1. Okay, let's do number 4 together. Sean, -10x over -10 reduces to what? 1x. Negative divided by negative is a positive. Okay, who can tell us 25 divided by -10 reduces to what? Briar, what do you think? Kind of 2.5. Good. How else can we write that answer? Adam, how else can we write the answer? Good. How else can we write the answer? Donatus? Okay, how else can we write the answer? Doug? Okay, yep, that works. There's something else I'm thinking of, though, that's different than that. Matt? Yeah, x minus 5 over 2. So you can also write it as an improper fraction. Annalise? So 25 divided by negative 10 is negative 2.5, which is the same thing as negative 5 over 2. You can, I just simplified in my head and I say 25 over 10, 5 goes into both of those numbers. 5 goes into 25 5 times. 5 goes into 10 2 times. And then I just also mentally say, all right, what's half of 5? And I know it's 2.5. So you can use mental math, you can use a calculator, you can use shortcuts. That's up to you. Mary? Yep. Plus the negative is the same thing as subtraction. Doug, do you have a question on this? Let's wait for that then. All right, go ahead real quick. You can. Yep. Yep. Jeremy. Yeah. Yes. Correct. You're exactly right. Okay, let's go to your notes, lesson 1.8, page 23. So hopefully you guys are better with the simplifying expressions. If not, either go back on Blackboard or let me know at some point when you come in the morning so I can go over more with you. So lesson 1.8, we're going to talk about the coordinate plane. While you're getting your notes out, what is one thing you already know about the coordinate plane without looking at the smartboard? Mary? Yep. Great job. You count across and up. Adam, what else do you know about the coordinate plane? Good. And what? Yes, exactly. There's an X and a Y axis. Annalise? Yep, you can use it to find different points. Briar? Quadrants. Good job. It has 4 quadrants. Alyssa? There are negatives and positives. Emma M? Good job. It has to have X coordinates and Y coordinates, just like this. The little trick about the 4 quadrants, I don't know if you guys know this, but there are 4 quadrants. You have to use Roman numerals to say which is which. And there's also a specific order of the quadrants. They make a letter C. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to talk about this today. So if you draw a C, that goes in the order of the quadrants. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. And I'm going to talk about that in much more detail today. All right, so the coordinate plane. This is also a very good lesson to introduce chapter 8 of our book. We are going to talk a lot about graphing on a coordinate plane when we get to chapter 8. Today's lesson is somewhat of a review as well as an introduction to graphing. So we need to go through some definitions here first. The first one is a coordinate plane, which we just talked a lot about. It is formed by the intersection of a horizontal number line and a vertical number line. Like you didn't already know that, right? So it is formed by the intersection of a horizontal number line and a vertical number line. And feel free to jot down whatever makes most sense to you. And I like to draw pictures just so you have an idea of what it looks like right here. Right here. Oh, okay. Mary? Oh, well, we're going to do that today. Okay, cool. That's, it's interesting because some classes and some schools do teach that before you get to this grade and this class, and some don't. So that's probably why I still kept this in this chapter, because of that reason. Sean? The one that we just worked on? That could go in the note part of your binder because it's part of our notes. Well, anytime I feel like we need more practice with something, I usually just have you pull out paper or a notebook and we'll add some more examples. Annalise? That's fine. You can keep it in there. Okay, the x-axis is the horizontal axis in a coordinate plane. So horizontal means it goes this way. X-axis is the horizontal axis in a coordinate plane. It goes this way. Me too. I always think of horizon too. That helps. So if you guys ever forget horizontal, think of the way the horizon goes, or just remember it goes this way, from left to right. The y-axis is the vertical axis in a coordinate plane. So vertical, think of jumping up and down. Okay, it's a vertical axis in the coordinate plane. Another way to remember this is if I draw the y, you can make it have a tail, and it kind of goes up and down vertical. If I draw the x, you can draw the x so it's kind of like wide. So the x always goes this way. The y always goes this way. Mary? Yep, I like that. So x-axis is always horizontal, y-axis is always vertical. Okay, while we're waiting for the next page here, what is the origin? What is the origin? On a coordinate plane, what is the origin? Should have heard of it. Adam, do you have an idea? There you go. You guessed correctly. Yes. Okay, the origin is the point 0, 0 in a coordinate plane at which the horizontal axis intersects the vertical axis. So the point 0, 0 in a coordinate plane at which the horizontal and the vertical axis intersect. It's the very, very middle point of a coordinate plane. It is always labeled as 0, 0 or the origin, or both. So it's always called the origin. I put a little point there this morning when I came in. I drew a line. That's the origin. Doug? Just try your best, or get a notebook, and if you want to add to it, you can add it in your notebook, or try to write a little bit smaller. Charles? Oh, yes, always. Yes. These definitions are from your book. You are more than welcome to write down either something I say, shorten it, make it your own thing that makes more sense. That's completely up to you. You're okay, Doug. You've room. Adam? That's not until chapter 8. So it's not that hard yet. Jeremy? Okay, quadrant. So the definition of a quadrant is one of the 4 parts into which the axes divide the coordinate plane. So it's one of those 4 parts into which the axes divide the coordinate plane. So I'm going to draw a coordinate plane here. This is a quadrant. That's quadrant 1. This is quadrant 2. This is quadrant 3. This is quadrant 4. There's always 4 quadrants. They always are labeled in a certain order, and they always make a C. Always, always, always. Annalise? It's kind of like formulas in math. It's whoever invented this and came up with this, that's how they made it. So now, will I mark it wrong if you do not use a Roman numeral? Probably not, but you should use Roman numerals. Okay? Charles? That's how they are. That's how they look. This one? Yeah, that's true. You could. Yeah. I always see them both ways, Charles, so yeah. Okay. To shorten it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. So I guess you guys are right. I always just write them this way. You can write them whatever makes sense to you. All that I care about and prefer is that you try to use Roman numerals, because that's how you should identify the quadrants. Sean? Wow. Mary? I know. Of course they did. You would think they could just start with 1, but they don't. I know what you mean. Yes, you may. Adam. Well, don't worry about that right now. Okay. Charles. Wow. Well, if we ever need them, I'm going to ask you guys then. Okay, ordered pair. When you are graphing on a coordinate plane, you need to use an ordered pair, which is always x, comma, y. Always x, comma, y. So our ordered pair is each point in a coordinate plane that corresponds to an ordered pair of real numbers. The important part is that you remember an ordered pair is always x, comma, y. Always. Mary? Yes. Always. Donatus? There you go. That's a nice way to remember it. You could also think of it as x comes first in the alphabet, y comes after. It's another way to think of it. Adam? Yes, go ahead. Okay. Any other questions or comments on ordered pair? We have a couple more. Okay, the x-coordinate, this is common sense, but is the first number in an ordered pair. So the book likes to really make sure you know what you're doing. X-coordinate is the first number in an ordered pair. First number in an ordered pair. So what do you think the y-coordinate definition is going to be? Alyssa? Yeah, it's the second number in an ordered pair. Y-coordinate, the second number in an ordered pair. Charles? Yes. In Calculus 2, you will see that. But you're way ahead of where we are right now. There's an X, Y, Z axis you will see in Calculus 2. So yes. Yes. You'll see it. Yes, you're 2 years accelerated. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Special math class, right? Mary. That's funny. Not yet, but eventually. Okay, last definition. And Elise, do you have a question about the definition? Okay, hold on 1 second then. Okay, scatter plot. So a scatter plot uses a coordinate plane to display paired data. I want you to think of a scatter plot as whoever has a messy room in here, think of all the items thrown all over your floor. It's scattered. We could make a scatter plot of your bedroom floor. My room's not like that, but I'm sure some of you guys have messy rooms. It's okay, right? Your parents bug you to clean it up. A scatter plot is a coordinate plane that has scattered data all over it. So a scatter plot uses a coordinate plane to display paired data. There's stuff scattered everywhere, okay? We won't see scatter plots a ton in this book, but I want you to be aware of what they look like and that they do use a coordinate plane and that data is going to be scattered and paired everywhere. Okay, if you guys have your hand up, is it a question about this? Charles, question about this? Okay, hold that thought then, okay? Donatus, is it a question about this? You guys stay on track. No? Okay, then hold on. Emma M? Yes, you may. Charles. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Donatus. I can't answer. You'll get to that in Calc 2. That's a long explanation. All right. There is a blank coordinate plane on the next page of your notes. So I think this is the last thing I want to do for now. So let's fill this out, okay? From those definitions and from our discussion, what is one thing we can label that we know about this coordinate plane? Briar, what's one thing? Great job. Everyone follow me. X, Y. Label the x-axis, the y-axis. Justin, what else do we know? Good. What's wrong, Charles? 24. You do. Yours looks kind of like mine. So that's okay. That's because when it was copied, it for some reason didn't copy them all. That's okay. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. That's okay. It's good enough. All we're doing is labeling. Okay, in the center is the origin. Put a point, and I want you to label it origin. 0, 0 is the origin. So not only are you labeling it as origin, but put 0, 0. Alyssa? Good. Quadrants. Anyone remember where is the first quadrant? Emma H? Good. Quadrant 1. Where's quadrant 3? Where's quadrant 3? Adam? Where's quadrant 2? I'm just making you guys think. Sean? Good job. And obviously quadrant 4 is down here. So you remember where the quadrants are, it makes a C. So if you don't remember the order they go, if you draw a C, that's the way that the quadrants go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Adam, what else do we know? They're like, yeah, that's the part. It's a mistake. It should have copied a graph. Thank you for being so observant, though. Okay, so something I did not tell you, but I want to see if you know. In this quadrant, the x and y coordinate, are they positive, negative, one of each? Briar? Good job. I want you to make an ordered pair. The x and y are always both positive. That's hard to see. In quadrant 1. All right, anyone know quadrant 2? How do you know whether the x and y are positive, negative, one of each, the same? Matt? Good. Negative, positive. Here's the reason. You have to go to the left first and then up to get to this quadrant. Going to the left first means your x is going to be negative, your y is going to be positive. On quadrant 1, you go to the right and you go up. Positive, positive. What do you think about quadrant 3? Doug? Good. Negative, negative. What about quadrant 4? Donatus? Great job. Positive, negative. That is extremely important for when I have you guys come up here tomorrow and we graph and plot ordered pairs. Briar? Go ahead. Yeah, I know. Mary, is this on track? Go ahead. No. Because this is an ordered pair. This is x, comma, y. Completely different. Thank you for thinking of that, though. Annalise? I'm going to show you more of that tomorrow. If you guys have never learned that, I'm going to explain that more tomorrow when we actually plot points. Yep. So basically, anytime you go to the left, it's negative. You go to the right, it's positive. If you go up, it's positive. Down is negative. So left and down is always negative. Up and right is always positive. No. It's just a mistake because it tried to draw the graph. That's just a mistake. The copy machine didn't do so well. Down negative and left negative, and then up is positive and right is positive. Ignore the graph, Annalise, because it tried to copy everything I have on mine, and so those aren't arrows. You know what I mean? That's why it's confusing. It looks like there's arrows, but they're not. Okay? All right. I'm going to pause this lesson until tomorrow. I wanted to have you guys come up and graph points for me, but we don't have time. So ignore the homework on the board. I'm going to change it a little bit. Open up your homework packet. So homework is going to be in the homework packet. Because I need to talk a lot more about the coordinate plane tomorrow. So, no. Okay, in the homework packet, I want you to do page 23. On another sheet of paper, Adam, you heard me, right? Okay. Another sheet of paper, numbers 1 to 39. Some of them are easy, so don't think that's a lot. Here's what this is, so you know what page 23 looks like. It looks like mine. This is part of your Chapter 1 review. So I'm giving this to you tonight so that I'm not wasting our review time, because I want to finish the coordinate plane lesson tomorrow. And I want to have a discussion with you guys on that and talk more about how to plot points. Charles. I want you to show work for any problem that requires more than one step. So if it only requires one step, you don't have to. If it requires more than one step, yes, because if I collect this and you don't have work, you're not going to get any points for it. I need you to show work. So if you make a mistake, we can find out what you did wrong. That's why I'm so adamant about showing work. So if it's only like for numbers 1 through 4, you do not need to show me work, okay? But anything that requires like the order of operation problems, anything down here with the absolute value, and the more of OOO problems, show work. Jeremy. I'd prefer that you do not use a calculator so you can practice for your test. Okay, so the best practice you'll get is by showing your work and not using a calculator. Yeah, and you can to check it, but I'd rather you try to think through it. So 1 to 39, this is part of your review because we're not done with that coordinate plane yet, so keep thinking about it. Okay, any other questions? Okay, go ahead and get packed up. Good job.